Hey, first, I'd like to thank Mark Davis for putting this together, giving us the opportunity to come out here, like we talked about, for team bonding, chemistry, to get away for 17 days and allow our team to get after one another a little bit. I think we accomplished that, and I think the city of Costa Mesa, CHP, who's handled everything with us. The Westin Hotels, hospitality's been amazing, been really good. And more importantly, our entire staff, the Las Vegas Raiders organization, from our ground crew to our equipment guys, our training room, our staff, everybody, PR, everybody's done an outstanding job, made this very smooth for the players. We've accomplished a lot over the last several days. This will be our 11th practice today. The Raiders got better. There's a lot of things that we want to accomplish, and we got more to do, but we got off to a great start.
Does the first question, like everything you wanted to accomplish, or is there still stuff even today and beyond that is still there?
Yeah, the things that we marked that we wanted to get through these 11 and 12 practices, we've accomplished. We set the tone. I know we built our identity, obviously, on defense and special teams, same thing on offense. The physicality and, more importantly, the chemistry and the team bonding is what we wanted, and the competition has been at a high.
For us here in Los Angeles, from when you took over last year to now, what was the biggest thing that you felt you needed to instill in the Raider organization?
Culture, identity, who we are. Get back to the roots. Get back to what Mr. Davis, 65 years ago, started this bad boy with. Pride, poise. I finished it with passion, playing in a Raider way, toughness, physicality. No apologies.
And speaking of that vision for culture, how much of that was formed for you as a young man here in Southern California?
Huge. It's huge. It's part of my identity. It's the way I grew up in inner city Los Angeles. It's built me to go through adversity and deal with tough moments, to have my back against the wall most of the time, be told what I can do. And it fits right along with the Raiders organization.
Coach, who were some of the standouts in camp on both sides of the ball?
Guys that stood out that, let's talk about guys that probably nobody thought about, like DJ Turner, DJ Glaze, Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers had a really good camp. Our entire offensive line, they changed their identity. Defensively, thought Adam Butler from day one has been consistent. Malcolm Kudus, Max Crosby, Tommy, Jack Jones, and I would say both of our safeties really played. Really, our entire safety, that entire position group played really well. And I ain't gonna lie, without our two specialists, Daniel Cross and AJ, they've been doing an outstanding job with the kickoff rule, and obviously what AJ's doing punting is at a high level right now.
AP, when you're in the midst of a quarterback battle, I know you have to take into effect the quality of your defense. How much does the unforced errors, the penalties, the drops just drive you nuts?
Yeah, especially pre-snap penalties, right? Because that's just a mental focus, right? That's on you as a player. Things that happen after the play, the ball snap, that's football. Things happen, right? The drops, again, they go to the focus. All we do is spend 20 minutes a day on individual, and EB and our entire staff spend a lot of time on those individual and fundamentals techniques. So, those are things that get frustrating because then it reflects on the quarterback, and then, we start to write a narrative that maybe sometimes isn't always true and positive for the quarterback. But I would say this, at the end of the day, it's training camp. If these guys were ready and we're in mid-season form, you won't hear me say that. No, we're in training camp form. We're getting there. We're getting ready to play our first game, and there's going to be more mistakes, and that's why we got to grow on those. So hopefully, come September 8th, we're not making those same mistakes.
So having said all that, through 10 practices and practice 11 today, where do you see the quarterback competition right now?
Status quo.
When you look at the quarterbacks, obviously they're very completely different play styles. Can you just talk about kind of like the different flavors that you get from each of the quarterbacks?
Yeah, you see it. Let's be honest. Aiden is your classic quarterback, drop back quarterback, right? Put that back foot and let it hit, and then let that ball release. Highly accurate, can throw the ball outside of numbers. Gardner's really savvy. Does a good job of controlling, poise, feels things around him, good feel in the pocket. Obviously, when the play breaks down, he's really good at that. So, at the end of the day, every quarterback's different. You don't draft the same guy, and I know we didn't draft Gardner Minshew, but you don't draft guys with the same traits and characteristics, right? You want something different. And it's up to our offensive staff to put that together, regardless of who the quarterback is, what works for him, what helps our offense be effective and have opportunity to win games.
What will be your playing time situation for both guys coming up this week?
One more time.
What will be your playing time situation for both guys coming up this week?
They'll both play a quarter, first quarter and second quarter.
AP, can you tell us, when I asked you last year about your first game being a head coach, now that you have your first training camp in California on your belt, what have you learned about being a head coach?
Patience. Don't rush the decisions. Don't be emotional. Don't get emotional because you make a lot of bad decisions. And at the end of the day, just sit there and digest it and understand that training camp is such, right? It's these guys 6 practicing pads, getting together, building a team. And let's be honest, we don't even have our full roster yet. We got some guys on PUP. So just really being patient, not rushing, not overreacting, more importantly, and really trying to block out the outside nose and just focus on our team.
Antonio, when you say it's status quo, is that because you don't feel like somebody's taking the lead in this competition? And if that is the case, what is it that you want to see for? What do you feel like you have to see for one guy to take a step?
I wasn't going to base everything off of practice, so I wasn't going to go who had a better day. And again, a lot of different factors play into it, right? Defensive play, who's going with the ones, who's going with the twos. This preseason game will be very telling. I want to see these guys take care of the ball, manage the team, take care of situational football.
In this situation, is there a scenario that you could see playing out where when it's all said and done, there could be almost a tie goes to the runner type situation with this quarterback competition, or is there be a definitive winner?
Yeah. When we make a decision, that's going to be our quarterback.
In the preseason, you obviously can't control if other teams play the starters or the backups. How do you kind of evaluate that? Let's say somebody has a really good game, but they're going against maybe the 4th string defense. Like, do you factor that into when you're watching that team?
Yeah, I mean, it's just things we're looking for, right? Assignment, alignment, execution, adjustments, effort, physicality, tackle. I mean, all that stuff. It doesn't matter who you're playing with. It's still football. And we're going to play our guys, right? Everybody that's on this trip, if they suit up, if they're on the plane, they're playing. So you'll see Max Crosby, you'll see Christian, you'll see all those guys there. And to us, it's more about the Raiders. It's not the Raiders versus the Minnesota Vikings. I know we're going to look at that. There's a score. There's going to be a win or loss. But there's things that we have, objectives that we want to get accomplished in this game that we know as a team, and that's what we're focused on.
Coach, what are some of those goals that you're looking forward to having the players accomplish in this first preseason game?
I can't tell you that because I haven't told the team yet. So.
Do you feel like you've learned a lot about your team over these 17 days?
Yeah, we got grit. We're tough. We've had over close to 800 team reps in 10 practices. Do the math, right? I mean, from walkthroughs and everything. Anytime we're 11 on 11, over close to 800 reps. These guys haven't blinked. There's been no bitching and complaining. They put their workman's hat on every day. We don't have guys looking to get out of practice. We got a mentally tough team, and we got a team that's pissed off and want to prove a lot of people wrong.
Coach, standing here now going through this process, what would you tell the little AP in Compton?
I'll just smile. Probably like I'm doing now. Yeah. You dream a lot as a kid, right? I didn't dream to be the head coach. I just wanted to play football on a high school local channel. That was big. And then I realized you get paid to play football. And then you start having more dreams, and then you get to the National Football League, you want to be the best pro player possible. And then when I got into coaching, being a position coach was cool. Being a coordinator was cooler. Being a head coach, that's the issue. That's it right there. Yeah, but I look back at that little dude and just smile because I know what he went through. Only child, growing up with 2 women, mother and a grandmother raising him. Accomplished a lot.
You've got some new pieces in the running back room. Have they answered your questions thus far?
Oh, we're getting there. I'll be honest. You don't want to see because the pads get on, but you want to see it. I do want to see it in the preseason game. Dalen's had a hell of a job. He's done a really good job at running back. Alex Madison, Zamir White, Amir Abdullah. It'll be really good to see those guys in this offense, right? And they're going against somebody else now. But I think what they've all done is kind of identify what they do well. And it's our job now to go out there and put them in position and let them do that.
You talked about the other 2 quarterbacks. What do you see from Anthony Brown in this camp?
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, there's some flashes and some moments as you see the reps count is kind of like changed at times because, you focus on the top 2 guys. But Anthony Brown will play a lot in his first preseason game. We'll get a lot of Anthony Brown. But the skill set, the athleticism, strong arm, some decision making. But more importantly, I'm always go back to it. Quarterback position, you're the first guy to touch the ball, and he's always ends up in the Raiders' hand. We got to do a better job of that.
What has the journey been like from last year to now in terms of getting your guys to buy in to your vision?
They bought in day one.
It's good.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, AP.